Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am back with the veteran Noob for another season of CSR, and this is Veteran Noob's Adventures in CSR Part 5. So, this season's PC Cup car is the Lamborghini Urus, which is one of the few SUVs in the game. It's a Tier 4, and at least it's a Lamborghini, which makes it relatively easy to get fusions and fill them up. Even then, after playing the entire season, building the car, I am looking at a build that is not significantly fast. At this point, with the parts I have, the Evo points are still somewhat mediocre, sitting at a mere 653 and 359 total Evo points. This means this SUV isn't going to be fast enough yet for the PC Cup, and that is a problem that we're going to try to get through as we finish the season. And during this video, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. Now, as you can see, I've been pretty lucky. I actually have 3 stage 6s already, and they were part of my inventory going into this season. I didn't expect them, but I already had them. On the other hand, I am lacking quite a few fusions on this car, but that is why I did a little bit of preliminary work and actually bought myself some Lamborghini Hurricanes in anticipation of having to get fusions from them. I spent about 3 million and I have 3 million left, but right now I'm going to go ahead and strip these guys, get the fusions out of them, and see where that puts the Urus as far as getting through the cup itself. Now, stripping cars is pretty straightforward. You strip it, you get your parts. I usually try to strip them all at once rather than separately, just a personal way of doing it. I have a separate video on that if you're curious why I do it that way. In any case, when you strip these cars, they'll give you fusions and possibly Lamborghini Hurricane Stage 6s, which can be useful when you get around to other things. In this situation, believe it or not, I'm actually looking for uncommon and rare fusions because I seem to have a shortage of them. It's nice to get epics and stage 6s, but for the purpose of getting the car built first, I'd rather have enough uncommon and rares to fill up those slots and then hopefully get all the epics. But I don't complain when I do get epics. Here we're going to strip car number 2. Let's see what it gives us. Some more uncommons. Goes right to rare. See, I only got one uncommon on that one. It already goes to epic. Normally, this is a good thing when you get to the end of a build when you need epic fusions. I mean, this just gave me a bunch of them. But on the other hand, when you're building a new car, what you actually want would be uncommon and rares first to get that filled up. And anyway, all 3 of these hurricanes will give me some decent parts, but so far I'm not seeing a ton of uncommons or rares, which means it may not drop my time all that much once I install what I can. So we'll jump back to that and take a look, see where it puts the Urus after that. And at the same time, I did manage to get 2 stage 6s for the Hurricane. That's going to be useful down the line as well. So coming back to my actual PC car, as you can see, I have a lot of unfilled fusions, but unlike when I do builds for live racing or even for Tempest, I actually skip around filling up fusions, mainly because I want to leverage the fusions I do have. And sometimes if you put an uncommon in the only slot that's available, then you can't install the rare fusion. So you want to try to put them where you can maximize the number of fusions you can put into the car so that you can get it done. Now here I have a lot of shortage of um, uncommon trans for some reason. So I'll just go ahead and install this guy here. I don't like to waste epic fusions on a car, a PC car particularly, that I may not use again in the future. But at this point, I need them. I'm going to put as much in as I can, but I will save a few of them that I may use on another different Lamborghini. In the end, after this PC Cup's over, I probably will try to strip some of these fusions back out of this Urus. I just don't see myself wanting to use this thing for anything else. It just isn't that great a vehicle overall, in my opinion. Okay, so we're back to the car. Let's now try to tune it a little more, see where it's at. A few more points. Very little change other than what the Fusions already gave me, which is about 100 points. 100 points isn't going to drop my time all that much, um, unfortunately. So it is what it is. We just kind of deal with it. Um, play with the tire a little bit. Nope, nope. And going up doesn't help either. So it looks like tire's going to stay right around where it was, about 32, I believe. 32. Yep, there we go, 32. Okay, so 13.518. It's worth it to at least go and try it and see where and how far you can get in the PC Cup at this point. I know that the final time is a 12.8, so I know for a fact this 13.8, the 13.518 isn't going to get me all the way through. That means we're going to have to come back and look at pulling crates. I'm also going to do Tempest later at the end. I'm right near getting Amelia's car. As far as Hobbs Redemption, this event here, I had a Vorsteiner R720S in my garage, bone stock, so I could at least lock it in. And I did that mainly just so I can get the free crates and pull as many parts as possible during the event without actually running the event because I don't have money to build the 720S. And quite frankly, you're not going to get that far in this event anyway because the second car in the event has to be a paid car. It's a Nissan GTR 34 Nismo V-Spec, which is a Paul Walker car, but you have to buy it. You can't get that for free. So the most amount you're going to run this event with a free car is about 14 races. After that, you have to lock in with a paid car. So this is a paid event. Since I played this account for free, I did not buy the car for this account, and therefore I don't even worry about running that. Now, Made in America is coming in a day or so, and I will discuss a little bit about that at the end from a new player perspective, but let's now run the Prestige Cup and see what we can do. You'll notice that I'm skipping around with a lot of these races, and there's a lot of in and out real quick. The reason being that I've been editing the video and taking out all the loading screens. And boy, there are a lot of loading screens. Why am I doing that? Because in their infinite wisdom, Natural Motion decided this update to make it so that the player ID pops up when you go into a loading screen. Maybe it's a way to remind you to remember your player ID, which is quite important. But it makes it very annoying when we're trying to make videos for other players to see because if you have my ID, you could potentially get a hold of my account. And as much as I don't mind this account because it's not my primary account, you know, being potentially taken by someone else, let's be honest, I do put some effort into this account and I don't want to lose it because somebody gets my ID. So lots of editing going on here with this video. I also actually eliminated some of the runs from this cup, and the voiceover is no longer done as I play. It's actually done after the fact. These are just some of the changes I unfortunately have to do in order to continue to make videos. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not really driving this car all that well, but we're kind of blazing through these transitions and this PC Cup so far. In the beginning, the opponents run very slow, so I'm not too worried about getting through the first few races. And then we're going to take a look at some of these speed traps and sprints. There's usually 2 sprints and 3 speed traps in the PC Cup, and they start off easier, going slightly harder each time. The fastest speed trap in this isn't really all that fast for this car, which is already built with 3 stage 6s. But here's the first speed trap, 125 miles per hour. One thing about tuning the Urus to hit speed traps, this is not one of those cars that you can just say, oh, I'll hit nitrous late and I'll run way over the speed. Yes and no. If you lower final drive to try to use nitrous late, you still won't make it. Your best bet actually is to put the final gear, top 8th gear, to top out at the speed trap you want if you're cutting it close, and then hitting nitrous probably mid to late and see if you can at least top out at the top mile per hour by the end of the track. In my case, it's no problem. I'm doing 162 here. And that'll get me through the final speed trap, which I know is only 151. So here's the second one, 131 mile per hour. Again, relatively easy for a built car, but if you're not making a speed trap, most likely your problem is lack of fusions. Without enough engine, turbo, nitrous, and even intake fusions in some cases, you're going to have a problem hitting higher top speeds. So here, quick and easy, 163 mile per hour for 131. All right, sprint number one. This car actually sprints relatively well. You can nitrous right away and just kind of bang through the gears, and it will get a decent 0 to 100. 3.161. It only needed a 5.2. But again, upgrade dependent. Always with these cups and stuff, it's upgrade dependent. If you don't have the upgrades, you're not going to be able to do some of the events. It's not always tuning. People always ask me, oh, how do I tune? Well, you got to have enough parts to tune. One of the key parts to allow you to tune, to have any kind of variables, would be fusions. Without fusions, you can't tune the car. Literally, you'll end up with a variable, maybe 10, 15 evil point variance when you tune. That's worthless. You really need to have enough fusion so that you can have up to 100 plus to, in some cases, hundreds of evil points variables to tune from. That's when you can really tune a car. All right, sprint number two. Boom. This one should be relatively easy as well. Yep, not too bad. I sprinted a little bit slower this time than the first time, but notice that there was a 1 second drop on the opponent's side to 4.2, and now speed trap number 3 or 4, is it? I can't remember. This is probably the fourth speed trap, actually. 151 mile per hour, pretty quick, but again, with this current build, I will make it through no problem. Now, my current build, again, it's, if you don't remember now, it's about a 13.5, okay, is what I can do. So I'm already on race 20 here without a problem, but we're now starting to look at some of the time attacks. This is race 24, I believe. So race 24, you're starting to get these time attack challenges, and after race 23 to 24, the opponent's times escalate a lot quicker because you're now moving towards the final time, which in this case should be around a 12.8 and change depending on which opponent you get. So your 13.5 isn't going to make it much past 25 here. So I'm going to do this one. Notice it's already changed race 25 to hard rather than challenging. Now, hard means I can do it, but let's go back and see if we can make use of these fusions we gained during the event so far, put them in, and leverage them for some extra evil points. Now, notice it's very few evil points for this epic. I'm not going to waste it. Just going to stick with rares and uncommons for now. Let's see. So here's another uncommon. 12, I'm out of rares. 12 evil points isn't much, but it's something. All right, so here, 22, that's a nice little bump. And nitrous, we have rare 3. Eesh, that doesn't do much of anything. 9 doesn't do a whole lot either, but it's every little bit counts kind of thing. We got them. I'm going to leave that epic alone and go back and retune this. I could probably eke a few more points out of it, but I doubt I'm going to get a whole lot of a change. That's another thing I don't like about this car. The actual tuning parameters really doesn't add a whole lot. It's, and that happens a lot with lower tier cars. A tier 5 car may get up to 800, 900 to 1,000 evo at this point. Tier 4 car that is a little bit slower like this one would only be at about 500. And 500 evo doesn't make it very good in live. That's why I'm saying this is not one of those cars I care a whole lot about. So I doubt I'm going to make it to the stage 6 that I was pointing at just a second ago. I probably can make it through 1 or 2 races before I'm stuck again. So it looks like crates are going to be the thing that I'm going to have to go for after this. So this one I was able to get. I've reduced the time to a 13.3 something. 13.389 against the 13.7. But again, we're still looking at hard. Race 26 is coming up. I need to get to 28 for that next stage 6, which hopefully would help me. But I have to get there too. And I'm already running 3 stage 6s and some a decent amount of fusions that I can't even get to my quote first stage 6 based on the event. That tells you that this is not the most fun PC Cup to be running through for most people. And I have no doubt some of you might be even stuck because, quite frankly, if you had no stage 6s yet, even if you have more fusions, you're probably still stuck around where I am. All right. It's an extreme. I'm going to try it once just to see if I can get anywhere. Probably not. 4-bar extreme usually means at the very end, the opponent will pass you or even half track. In this case, it's pretty tight. Oh no, but I lose. About 1 car length. 13.335 is better than my current record, so I'm not going to keep wasting my time. I'm going to go back and get, yeah, 13.389 was the best I ran. So I'm going to go back and get some more parts. So now all that bronze keys I've been saving is coming into play. Now I do have 880 silver keys, and I potentially could try for another Eurus as a way to get parts, but it's a waste to do it that way. You're much better off coming here at 500 keys a shot, go and try to get another stage 6. Now, I can get lucky and get a stage 6 before I even hit the loyalty, or I end up spending 3,000 keys for my 6 pulls and then having to get the loyalty that way. Then you have to hope that the loyalty isn't a duplicate, because I already have 3 stage 6s. If I get a duplicate, I'm kind of screwed again. So there are a lot of ifs, and random generators being what they are, you know, it's luck. If you're not lucky, the crates don't give you anything, and then you get over there and nothing. The stage 6 is a duplicate. Well, unfortunately, then you have to decide if you really want that 180k points at the end or not. All right, so let me see here. Yeah, no luck getting another stage 6. I am getting a decent amount of epics and rares and some uncommons. So the crates are giving out what they're supposed to be, generally speaking. They're not terrible items that they're giving me. It's not all greens and no blues, but oh, I actually need these greens. I want those transmission greens, so I'm not complaining here. Okay, and a red trans, that's not bad. All right, so here we go, 7th poll, and still no stage 6 yet, so I'm getting it only by loyalty at this point. See, 3, 4. All right, yep. Okay, at least I got another epic fusion loyalty reward, and it's engine. Okay, engine is a decent stage 6, I think. Let's go install it and make sure it's not a duplicate, and it's not. Great. All right, so that puts me into a little bit higher. Let me see. I only have 1 rare, so I can't build the rares here to leverage the epics. I might as well do it this way. All right, so I got another uncommon. Here we go. Put that into 12 points. That's good. That's gonna help me a bit here. What about body? All right, body. Let's put it here. See if I have a rare or not. No, no rares. So another 2 right here. Okay, that's 11 points. That's not a bad jump. All right, I'm at almost 600 Evo here. Okay, let's go and take a look. Okay, I have trans too. So let's put the trans in. See what trans will give us. Oh, 47. Wow, that's a big one. Oh, and this one only gives 2. 4. All right. So the 47 though will make up for almost the lack of on some of the other ones. I'm not using the epic because I don't want to burn it up yet. I want to save those for the other cars, and I'm just going to kind of use the rares and uncommons for now. Okay. Tire uncommon. Oh, 1 Evo point. Jeez. Oh, that one gave 8. It's not too bad. And 4. All right. So all 3 of them didn't give all that much, but it's something. What about this one? All right, let's see. Oh, we got 3 of these, so we can put them in. 11, that's not bad. No more? No. All right. Okay, again, I'm saving the epics for the Tier 5 Lamborghinis, and I'm going to go ahead and see. Oh, 12801. Okay, a little bit of tuning may get me into a slightly better position, too. Let's see where we can end up at. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit of a bump to, ooh, 700 Evo. That's good. 12,765. Okay, 12,762. Good enough. Hopefully I can hit a low 12.8s. I haven't really been beating these dynos, but we'll see. Okay, so race 27. Let's go and do it. And then race 28, I'm going to get another stage 6. There's hope that I'll get a good stage 6 there, and that'll help me make it through the end a lot easier. But as it stands, if I can run at least a 12.8, low 12.8, I should be able to get through anyway. Okay, let's see what we ran here. Now, it says 12.7 something, but it's probably going to be a 12.8 something. Oh, 12.796, not bad. Okay, that's good. That helps me potentially get through to the end. So here, let's see what we can do here. All right, it's an okay run, not the best. What do we get? What do we get? Well, he's not catching up, so at least I know I'm definitely getting this stage 6. And that should, if it works out, it should give me a nice buffer for the next 2 races. Okay, it's a tire. 12.796 is now my best time. Let's go back and wait, I already have a tire. Okay, so I have 4 stage 6s, including tire. So this one is a duplicate, and I don't have fusions for it anyway. Before I go back, let's go make sure and confirm that in fact tire is a duplicate. I'm pretty sure it is though, because I can't install it. That means it's a duplicate. Where is that? Urus. Oh, there it is. Tire duplicate. Okay. So after all that work, polling crates and everything else, you get to race 28, and what do? They give you a duplicate. And I'm sure a lot of people suffer through the same problem. So now I'm going to have to make it through these final 2 by driving it as best as I can, because I know I'm going to be cutting it kind of close at the end of the final run here, especially race 30, which the opponents can be somewhere in the low 12.8s. So I have to do a pretty decent run to get through that. Right. So here we go. Final run. Did I edge up a little bit? Maybe. Okay. That run shouldn't have edged it up. So that 12.76 is still my best run. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I think I screwed up a little bit on this one. Well, catching up to me. That's not going to be good. Oh, lost by just a little bit. Okay. All right. I know I can do better than that. So re-challenge is in order. Let's get that 180k points. Perfect launch. I kind of short shifted the first 2 gears. Now, my shift pattern isn't the best shift pattern, so please don't follow it just for the sake of following it. I just use that one because it so far seems to work okay. And I did manage to get it this time. Not my record run or anything, but at least the car ran good enough to get through. So that adds another 180k to my crew point total, making me well over crew minimum for the season. I was at about 460k. This will put me easily into the 600-700k range, making it so that I'm well above required crew minimum. So my crew won't be complaining about my performance for this season. All right, so that finishes the PC Cup, and let's go ahead and go back and finish Amelia's challenge for Tempest 1. My Mustang GT Premium is pretty built. Now, anytime you get to the end of Tempest, when you're at the last race of that event, before you go into the final race, go look at your car, dyno it, okay? Dyno your car and get the dyno time. Now, before you go back to do anything else, you dyno, you know what your car does. It's 9.416 on the dyno. Go to Facebook, go to Reddit, go somewhere, look up the chart for Tempest boss times. Find out when Amelia is going to run. And I can tell you right now, she's going to run 9.9 to 10, right around that range. So my 9.4 should be guaranteed win. Therefore, I can now go into this race against Alte knowing full well that I won't get a chance to build my car anymore between this and the Pinks race, but my car is more than ready. This Mustang is fast enough that I'm going to beat Alte easily, and I should be able to take down Amelia easily as well. Altay's always going to run a little bit slower than Amelia, so if you're already struggling to beat him on this race, you're definitely going to have a problem when it comes to the Pinks race. Be patient. Build your car more before you finish each Tempest event. There's no need to rush through it. They don't give that much as far as rewards. They don't even give you much as far as RP. Yes, you get a boss car, but why rush it and then lose your chance on the only reward that's even worth getting? Now, Amelia's LBM4 is a worthy car. I would definitely recommend you to get it. I'm going to race her. Obviously, I'm not paying $4.99 for Super Nitros, and I'm going to race her anyway because I know I can beat her. My car runs much faster than 9.9. Even if I made some mistakes and didn't drive well, my 9.4 dyno gives me a nice buffer to still beat her for sure. Again, this is why you want to be patient because you want to get the win and the car. A lot of players rush through this last little bit. Oh, I noticed I'm racing Kurt's. How fun is that? So Kurt snuck in and drove Amelia's car against me, but she still lost. Okay, beat Amelia, get her car. What it does also is once you do that, whether you win her car or not, you also open up the rear imports to allow duplicates of regular LBM force to be able to be pulled from keys. This is a good car, definitely worthy to have. Plus, I have already, my crew have already reached the 20 million for this season. Although my points were a little bit late to help push over the cap there, still I did my part with my points. You move on to the next Tempest. You now have opened up the next one, which is Tier 1. Again, not a super rush to get through this. I'll run it when I can. As you can see, I have cars available for this. I recommend against the Mustang Boss 302 though. It's just not that quick. You don't want to lock that car in when you have better choices like the GTI or even the A-Bars isn't that bad. But I would say the GTI and the Fiesta ST are the best choices for Tempest 1 and 2. GTI, when fully built, will run 11s. There's no stage 6s to worry about. This car will be fine. I'm going to use it throughout next season or two to slowly get through. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Made in America 2. This is the second time this event has popped up. This time, though, you have to lock in 4 cars. And you lock them in pretty quick. I believe it's every 10 races you lock in 1 car until you lock in all 4. By race 40, you'll have all 4 cars locked in, and you're starting to already face sprints, speed traps, and relays. Then you have 40 more races with all 4 cars already locked in to get to the end. These lock-ins are going to be important because you want to lock in cars that you can actually win with. Plus, after you get the GT Heritage Edition, which is a Purple Star Heritage GT, you have its own 30 race event to go through if you want to. Nothing says you have to do this event at all, and nothing says that it's going to be easy to even get through the first part, much less after getting the purple car, spending $6 more million to build this car, plus Ford Fusions. Again, as a new player with a newer account, as a veteran player with a newer account, let's just put it that way, I still don't see myself getting through. Also, Performance 40 event is here at the same time, so I'm still going to run that and use whatever I can from that to help me get through this. So there's a lot of stuff to do, and you got to have ready cars. Problem is, I don't have that many ready muscle cars, right? You got the Corvette, which is super slow, the Hellcat, which is not built, and then here I got some good ones like the Stingray, the Dodge Demon, the Quinton Brothers, but again, lack of fusions, lack of money. Last second, if that event comes into play in 2 days, I may not be ready to build these cars because I just don't have the money or the fusions. The good thing is at least the Rally Fighter was a PC car, so that's kind of built. But then Viper ACR is not built. Again, I just have a few here and there half built. I don't have a lot of domestic cars that are really competitive. I got my Mustang. So you figure the way that this one works is you have to use all domestics. You have 4 cars to lock in. And not only that, the way what I've been told so far based on other people's info is that 1 and 2 you lock in tier 3 or lower, and 3 and 4 you have to lock in tier 4 and up. So you're talking about at least 2 cars from tier 1 to 3, and then 2 cars from tier 3 to 5 that has to be ready. How built do they have to be? We don't know. Not until we run the event. But chances are they can't be bone stock. So that's 4 cars built with fusions and possibly a few stage 6s. I just don't think many newer players will have that. So that's something to consider. All right, that concludes this Veterans Noob video for this season. Thank you for watching it. Please feel free to make comments and let me know if you have any questions. And please subscribe to the channel if you like my videos so that you can get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, I appreciate you watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I'll catch you again next time with another episode of the Veterans Noob Adventure in CSR.